this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today I am bringing to you my finished pages for the month of June. It has been a busy month around here, but I have managed to do my usual tons of coloring. I was particularly working on the Color Your Hoard, so I've been doing my first page out of a lot of books, so I've got quite a few to go through here, so we will continue to go through. Start off with Millie Murata's Curious Creatures, and I colored this page on here of the hedgehog. So that was my Color Your Hoard entry for this book. I love Millie Murata. I think I've got half of her books now. And then this one I actually just finished up today. This is Art Therapy Coloriage Mystère Zen, 50 pages to color. And I did two. With one I just finished a couple hours ago. So I did this one right here. And then this next one I really like. This turned out fantastic. I hope you can see it on camera. It's quite dark colors, but yeah, this one's beautiful. I think it's a statue of Buddha, but I'm not sure. It's not like the ones you usually see. So yeah, that turned out well. And then as I was working through my books are in order with their title, though I think I may eventually change that. So I came to my two magazines that I have. One is the Coloring Studio by Somerset Studio. So I colored a picture out of every issue of this that I have, so I'll show you those now. This first one here is by Jan Pellizer. And, oh, I guess I should be telling you what I used. This is thick cardstock type paper in this book, so I used alcohol markers. Yeah, I used alcohol markers on that. And the next issue, I did this one right here. The artwork is by Susan Hagen. I also did this one for hashtag Blues for Brooke, which was color with Donna's in remembrance of her daughter. So we used a variety of things on here. Fine liner, alcohol markers, Bics, and glitter glue, as well as gel pens. And then the next issue of this, did this one right here, which is actually by Joanna Basford, and I believe it's a scaled down version of a picture from her Lost Ocean book. She was the featured author of, or the okay, get your words out. She was the featured artist in this volume. So this I used water-based markers and a little bit of gel pen. And I'm just going to try turning this light on here because I've got sun coming in through my window, which may be making the pages appear darker than they should. Okay, so let's try this one. And this is the final issue that I have. And from this one, I colored this. No biggie. This is, the artwork is by Beth Briggs. This actually did have something to do with something when I colored it. I was just thinking about how I need a new pair of glasses. I need to get my prescription rechecked, and I was just kind of going with colors that I would like for glasses. So there we go with that. Then I colored one picture out of this. This is Sunlight's, this is their newest quest book. And I did one page in here of the lighthouse, which turned out really nice actually. This one is circles, and I'm not a big fan of that. For the quest books, I use the Staedtler 320s. They're dual tip pens. And then every month they always do at least a double spread. In this one, I am currently using this as a 3 color. Yeah, those don't look very good, do they? But anyways, they're just quickies. But the paper in this book is so smooth. It's not my favorite paper. So there's quite a few squiggle marks on this one, and you are going to notice those on my other coloring book pages because I do fall asleep while I'm coloring. It's just, I have a problem with sleep, and yeah, so I fall asleep doing things, and then I end up with scribbles all over my coloring book pages. So that's my 3 marker book. Okay, then the next, as I was going through my books in alphabetical order, I made it to D, and I came across the Do magazines. So I made sure I did one page out of every one of these. Some of these I had colored stuff out of before, but I used to take out everything I colored and use it in my collage journals and all that sort of thing. So there actually was nothing in them colored, though there are pictures missing. So I did one in every one. Couldn't hurt. So what I did in this one was this one right here. And that is of Owl, and it is from the Hello Angel Owls Wild and Whimsical Coloring Collection book. Oops, take my sticky off. And then the next book, or the next issue, was this one. And I did this elephant here. And this is by, I've lost the page that said who this one was by. That's the way that went. So I was participating in the Zenny animals, and so I did a few of kind of like Zen-tangled animals, because that's what the thing was. So then out of this issue here, I did this one. This is by Jess Walensky, and I used my Color Softs and Gamsol. Then from the Christmas issue, there were pictures in here that weren't Christmas themed, such as this one, which is again by Jess Walensky. And there are a lot of pictures in these magazines from her, and she's one of Design Originals illustrators. I wouldn't mind getting a couple of her books with patterns in them. I like the color scheme in that one. That was alcohol markers. Then out of this issue, I did this one. Swim with Mermaids. And this is from the Hello Angel Unicorns, Mermaids, and Other Mythical Creatures coloring collection. I don't have any of the Hello Angel books, and it looks like I might like them. So they're only like $4.99, I think, on Amazon. So this one, I did with alcohol markers, and I used, I just picked out all my marine shades of green and blue. And when I was finished, it just didn't really seem to have any contrast, and it still doesn't, but to help things stand out a little bit, I used Posca, white Posca around the mermaid, and I used some silver glitter glue on the fin, and I also used some blue Posca to go over some dots that were in there, so that kind of helped it pop a little bit more. Otherwise it's pretty. There you can see the glitter glue. Oh, I think you can get a better picture of the contrast in it that way too. Okay, so I have a lot of issues of this magazine, but there are only 2 left. So now out of this one, I did this. And unfortunately I fell asleep while I was doing this one, so I've got this great big yellow tail sticking out there. But I really like this. I used Bic markers, and I tried to do a little bit of blending on here, so it's not the greatest. Bic markers don't blend all that well, and I'm not any great shakes at blending, but, and I also, this is in a jar, and I used white Posca to cover up the jar lines so that it looks more glass. I really like that technique. I am using it a lot now. Ever since I first tried it. And this is the last issue that I have, and I did this mandala here, and this is by Valentina Harper, and it can be found in the Design Originals book, Creative Coloring Mandala Expressions. I don't typically like coloring pictures with quotes on them and stuff, but I don't know, it was alright. So I used, I think I used my Bic, yeah, I used my Bic markers on this, and I used a gold gel pen. So I used, this was a 5-color mandala. One of my colors was the gold gel pen. Now just excuse me for a minute, because I got a frog in my throat. Take a sip there. Okay, and then out of Zen Doodle Colorscapes, Cuddly Creatures, Being Animals to Color and Display, featuring artwork by Jeanette Wummel, Deborah Muller, and Jody Best. I did this one, which is done with water-based markers, and the background is blue Posca. And then I did this one, which really did not turn out how I had wanted it to. I just totally envisioned the background differently than how it came up, so that the birds basically ended up tying in with the background. Well, they disappeared into the background, so that was definitely not how I envisioned it at all. And then I had a couple of Zen Master coloring books, and these were sent to me by the publisher, and I just absolutely love both of these. And I colored 2 pictures in them, and I will be buying more books from this publisher because they are nice. So we did this one. Oh, this one is Indian Art and Designs. And I used, oh yeah, I used alcohol markers, various ones. And then, oh, this one's this way too. And then I did this one. So, here, let's fold that back because it's kind of showing an awful lot of color. There we go. So I believe that's Shiva, the goddess Shiva, or god Shiva, I'm not sure. So yeah, that was cool. I really, really like their books. And this is their other book that I got, and I colored 2 in here. This one and this one. which I really like. And again, I used alcohol markers, but for the lights in both of the lighthouses, and I'm going to do it throughout the rest of the book. For the lights on the lighthouse, I'm using a gold glitter gel pen. Then, next up is Coloriage Mystère Disney Babies Cercle Magique from Hachette et Rose. And I did these two right here, and I absolutely love these. So this one is Baby Lady, and I don't know this character's name, but I looked it up, and it's from the Black Cauldron. So this one is done with the big circles, like I think everybody has seen what those look like now, like a Quirkles book. But this one was done on a grid with circles, and it was different. I'd never seen one done like that before. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. So this is a book that I'm just going in order. And then, my friends, I finished my third coloring book. This book is finished. And for my next video, I will take you on a completed flip through of my finished book. But in the meantime, I will show you a couple of pages that I did towards the end of the month. So I had planned, my plan was to finish this off. I was about halfway through it, and I finished the, oh, and this one was fun to do too. So that's a sneak peek of some that I did this month, and as I said, I have got a full completed flip through for you to see in my next video. And then, oh my, this took me 4 days to color, and I have never ever spent 4 days coloring the same picture. But this was just incredibly intricate. It was so tiny. The face, I'll try and get a better view, huh? You just can't see it to its full glory. But anyways, the face here was so intricate that I had to color the whole thing through a magnifying glass. And that reminds me, in my last finished pages video, I had used a magnifying glass, and I called it a microscope. And nobody called me on that either, so I thought that was pretty good. It just flew under the radar there. Can you imagine coloring a book under a microscope? Oh dear. So yeah, anyways, this I think turned out really nice, but I just don't think, at least from what I'm seeing, it's not showing up the way that 4 days worth of coloring should show up. So yes, I only did that one in there, and I'm doing this book from start to finish too, so I am really glad that the pictures on the next page are very simple. So I did that with water-based markers, and I'm pretty sure I used, I said that already, I used fine liners, just a combination of stuff. I don't have a full set of any one particular. And then out of Carré Mystère, a colorier, I did Disney Babies, and I did these two. And this one I think is really cute, and this one just turned out horrible. I just don't think I was feeling it. And I don't like the color combinations on this either. It's just like they should have been done in lighter colors for the background. So yeah, not a fan of that. This one I like, but I don't know who it is. And I asked in my video when I, where did I, no, when I posted it on Instagram, I asked if anybody knew who it was, and nobody answered me. So if you know who this is, please let me know. And then every month I'm trying to do a Chibi Girl out of my Chibi Girls book. And this month I did this one. And I really like it. And this is the technique with the Posca, or yeah, I think I used Posca there. I'm using either a white gel pen or a Posca, depending on how black the lines are, for water and that kind of thing. So there's that one. And then again, a book that I'm coloring one a month at least. And I colored my page in here. This one I'm just opening up and coloring whatever I turn to. The pictures are, I mean, they're not incredibly different from each other. They're all really beautiful, but I mean, you can't really flip through and pick one because they're all, you know, so similar. But yeah, I love how the pictures turn out in this one. This is water-based markers. I used a lot of Papermate flares for that one. Then another monthly book. Maybe I have too many of these books that I work in every month. I did my one picture. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, so if I don't do one page every so often, and like one page a month, I would probably not do these. But they're like any other mystery coloring page, so they're fun to do. It's fun to see who it is pop out at you. And then this is my mandala book that I've been working in for the last little while, The Art of Mandala by Jason Hamilton. And I did this one. I was trying using some dark colors for a change. I usually don't go with an all dark palette, but I used purple, blue, and green for that one. And then back to my usual color patterns here with some bright pink, yellow, and green and purple. So yeah, my mandalas I pick 3 or 4 pens first, and then I am working in this Designing Colors magazine every month, and I really enjoy this. So this month I did 2 because I had such a blast doing this one. I picked out my colors beforehand, and then I just went to it. I think I used 5 Bic markers for that. And then I did this one. And surprisingly, this one was very popular on Instagram. I thought this one would be more popular because it's more colorful, but everybody seemed to really like the greens. So with this one I used I used every shade of green I had in my 36 collection of Bic markers. So that was 5, and then I had 1 Sharpie, which you can see is the neon one. But you know what? I don't like it when they give you the neon shades in markers, because I mean, the yellow, the pink, and the green are just like highlighters, and I would much rather get proper colors than to get 3 highlighter colors. But the only exception to the rule of all the markers that I've tried so far is the Sharpie neons. Now this one is showing up differently on this page with all these other greens, but they don't color like with that bright glow-in-the-dark neon brightness. like highlighters do. So if you want to pick up the pack of Sharpie Neons, I'd say go for it, because they're my favorites. And then I received this as Happy Mail from the wonderful Shelley Lewis, the stitching colorist. I hope I said her name right. I hope I said her last name right. The stitching colorist, that's what she goes by. And she gave me this for Happy Mail, and I colored this page. And this one's going to go around with me monthly too. I plan to do more than one at a time. But yeah, that was my Color Your Hoard page. And folks, we are down to the wire. We have 2 left. I did my very first page from Mythographic Imagine. This was sent to me by the publisher. And I did the first page in the book. It was so hard to choose a picture that I kept going through front and back and front and back. Then I'd end up like, you know, stopping at a picture and just looking at it and going, oh look, there's the compass, and oh look, a key, and you know, and so then I'd start looking and looking, and I went, oh heck, do the first page. So I did. That's what I did, and I'm pleased with how it turned out. It felt like a major undertaking, because you know, these pictures are so detailed. But once I got into this and I went, okay, so you know, I started with the rock and just took it a little bit at a time, and it was really easy. So I used my Copics for this. I used white Posca. I used blue glitter gel. I used silver and gray glitter gel, the red fine liner, and the watch here is done in gold glitter gel pen. So yeah. And finally, this has become a routine for me as well, is that every month I'm doing one picture out of the Travel Mosaic. These take me a long time to do. If they didn't take so long, I would do 2 at a time, but yeah, these do take me a while to do. So it'll be a long time before I've finished all of Sun Life's Mosaic books, I can tell you that much. I find the Quest books much faster to do. So I've been covering the edges of this with black Posca, and then writing my date and name on that with gel pens. So silver. And that is it, folks. So my plans for next month's coloring is to continue working on Color Your Hoard. So we'll probably see a big pile of books coming again. Let me put some books down here for you to look at while we chat. So yeah, it'll be a big pile of books again as I do Color Your Hoard. The color alongs that I plan to work on are Biblio Jungle, which is hosted by the Bibliophile colorist, and is co-hosted by a couple of others. I didn't write down the names of who was hosting these, so I'm sorry for not giving all the information out, but there are other sources to find that information than me. So I'm going to do the Biblio Jungle one, and as far as I know, that's just to color anything jungle related, either actual pictures that are of the jungle or jungle animals. So I always do a lot of animals every month, so I figured that could be easy for me to belong to. And then I've been waiting. I've been putting my Christmas books aside because I knew Christmas in July would be coming. This would be my first time participating in that, but prior to my joining the coloring community, I had belonged to the journaling community, and Christmas in July is very popular over there too. So I was positive that the colorists would do a Christmas in July, and yes, they do. So I've got my Christmas books all on the ready to color in July. And then I am going to participate in the Cheetah Girl one, which I have heard two names for. I've heard it called Chibi Girls in July, and I've heard it called Charming Chibis. So I'm not sure which is the official title for it yet, so I'll have to look that up. And that is being hosted by Lisa in Lisa's Coloring Corner and Zoe over at Zoe Archer. So that will be easy enough to get the proper hashtag for. I only have 2 chibi books. I have, obviously I just showed you Chibi Girls, so I'll be working in that. And then I have the crossover book, Cute Chibi Christmas, something or other it's called. The Cute Chibi's Christmas Coloring Book, I believe it is called, by Chris somebody or other. Oh, boy, I know a lot of information, don't I? So that crosses over Christmas in July with the Chibis, so I will be coloring out of that as well. And then finally, oh, who is hosting it? I don't know who's, oh, I think it's a stitching colorist who's hosting it. She is doing Color Your Pixels, and that is to color color by number books that are done in grids, like the one I showed you. I'm just checking to see if I can pull it without, no, it's too close to the bottom. Oh, no, here it is. And that, whoops, is for coloring. Color Your Pixels is to color any books that you have that are squares. So it means you can use the Coloring Quest books too, because they have, you know what, I think she would probably let any of those slide through, though I am in no way speaking for her. I don't know. But yeah, squares is definitely what pixels refer to, but I think she's probably going to go with any of the different shapes that come in a Coloring Quest book too. So those are the color alongs I'm going to do. And then personally, I am going to work on finishing another book. So the one that I've picked to finish in July is the Quirkles Icons book. I only have 5 pages left in that one, so I figured it's a big book too. So I figured I might as well get that one done and get it out of the way. Though of course I will replace it with one of the other Quirkle books. And then, since that's only going to take me, there's only 5 pictures in that one, I thought instead of like just, you know, doing another book to finish, I would start working on a bigger book to finish. And so I've chosen this one. This one is Animals, a Mindful Coloring Book by Georgie Woolridge. She has 3 books out. She has Animals, Birds, and Sea Life, and I have them all, and I love her style. She does animals with flowers and leaves and all that kind of thing in it, yeah. So they're kind of Zen-tangly, but they all have some kind of shapes of flowers and leaves. And these pages are, technically they are single-sided, because on this side is your picture, and then on this side it tells you about the animal. So I don't care if I cover this up, so I can use alcohol markers, but the picture that I have done in here I did in gel pen, so I think I'm gonna use either or. I use my alcohol markers or my gel pens. Where's the one I did? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's the one I did in gel pens. So this is going to be the big book that I'm working on, and it's doable because it's only one one side of the page, and it's something fun. So, those are my plans. I also wanted to say that July is my birthday month, so I will be celebrating that, and I don't know, something might come up on my channel to help bring you into my birthday, or I'm not sure. I will definitely do coloring related birthday presents, because I'm pretty sure I'm getting a few things. Not a lot of things. Our family doesn't do tons of presents for birthdays. So I just will probably get a present from my sons and my husband. So yeah, I'm starting to ramble, so that means time to call it quits. And I hope that you enjoyed your time here, and that you will give me a thumbs up. And if you have anything that you'd like to ask me, just let me know down below in the comments. If there's any of those books that I showed that you would like me to do a complete flip through of, I will definitely do so for you, or I will direct you to a flip if I've already done one. So that's it. So in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.